How's it going, everybody? Frankie here from Mirth Films, and today we're back for another episode of Kinda Live Kinda Livin. And we got a very special guest today, ladies and gentlemen, Zdenek Gubb. What's going on?
Nailed it.
Yes.
You nailed, well, yeah, you nailed it. I'll say you nailed it. Yeah, it's fine. At least you went for it, man. Not everybody goes for that first name. They usually just like Gub, right? I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
For years, I always was one of those people who probably said it the wrong way, and and then I finally learned. And but thank you so much for taking the time today to be on the show. And what's new in your world, man?
Well, first off, Frankie, even if you didn't get my name right, I wouldn't hold it against you by any means. No, no way. Um, I've been good. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of different stuff. Let's see what's going on right now. I've had a little downtime right now, which is really cool. Really nice because I've been wanting to write some more, and a lot of original music has been being put into this new band, Night Zero, that I'm in with Rob Compa from Dopapod, Adrian Tramontano from The Breakfast and Kung Fu, and also Twiddle. And then Leon Campos, which plays with Cat Wright Band, a bunch of different other people too. He's a good friend. And so everybody in that band is busy as well too, though. So we haven't got a chance to get together in a while. But we did release a video on YouTube about I want to say like a month ago or something like that,
Okay.
that you can check out. It's Park City Music Hall in Connecticut. We had MK Devo film it and do everything. It's on his channel on YouTube. Check it out. Um, so I'm very stoked with that. Let's see what's coming up right now, though, that I gotta get ready for. Well, for one, I'm digging back into the Twiddle catalog to learn some songs. Not for Twiddle, unfortunately, but for Gubblitas, which is coming next week. So I think you mentioned we're hopefully promoting next Friday's show, which is that Putnam Place, right?
Right at Putnam Place, a place that you're very familiar with. It used to be the Putnam Den, and I used to see you guys come through back in the day, early 2010s, with Twiddle, and now you're returning Gubblitas. It's something that you and Mihali have done for a long time. And what do you like about that formation and the ways you're able to explore the music that you're playing? That even if it's stuff that you've written in for other bands like Twiddle, that you're bringing into the formation of Gabalitas.
Oh, yeah. Well, the cool aspect of Gabalitas is it gave me an opportunity and chance to be more than just a supporting player as the role of a bass player for the band and everything. Because out of the blue, I was God, I can't remember how many years ago. This is over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago or something like that. I remember mentioning to Mahali I was really bored. We didn't have many Twiddle shows going on, and he was like, "Oh, come up to Jack's, in Killington, and play with me." We recorded it, and I took a couple solos over a couple songs I never would take solos over, probably any bass player really, and we really liked what came out of it. So he kind of twisted my arm a little bit to get me to do a little more of that. Not that I didn't want to, but confidence has always been a struggle for me. So, so we played at Nectar's like every Tuesday for years and years and years and years. RIP Nectar's, of course. And it's been an avenue for us to experiment playing Twiddle songs in a different way. I can focus a little bit more on singing some harmonies too, which has been good for me. Um, as in the role of being a bass player, like less is more almost always. I mean, it really is in every regard for the most part. But in this kind of an act with just the two of us, I kind of let loose a little bit more, which is really cool. So something that me and Molly have been talking about doing is getting in the studio and writing some music for Gabalitas. But as you might know, he is one of the busiest people I know. So he's on tour right now, and I think California, and so it's been hard for us to get together and kind of plan something like that. So unfortunately, there's not going to be any new music coming. But we do have shows in the books for 2026, so we're hoping to do something like that. So as far as Gabalitas goes, that's kind of where we're at right now. It's really, really cool though, because for years playing at Mahali's side, it's always been Twiddle music. in the past 2 years, I've been doing Mihali music, which has been cool learning how to play reggae bass. And these songs are very different. The feel's all different. So this will be a little bit like going back to what it used to kind of feel like, which we got a taste of that at a friendly gathering, which was cool having everybody there too. So, um, yeah, I don't even remember what you asked me, but I think I might have answered the question. Yeah.
You definitely did, and just you like you just mentioned a little bit, exploring different ways of playing bass, improvising, jumping into playing a little bit of reggae, but then also what you're doing with Night Zero. I got to see you guys perform at Parish, or it's Ophelia's now in downtown Albany, and it was like a completely different sound from what I usually hear you play, and it sounded like it was a band that can take a lot of chances and not have to worry about any risk. And it seemed like there was more reward to it. What is it like playing with those guys? Most of them, are they all in the Vermont area relatively?
Yeah. So, um, I'll try and work backwards from the question. So yeah, they all live in Vermont. I mean, Adrian's like right on the border right there, but he's basically a Vermonter. I live in Virginia, so I'm up in the northern part of Vermont. I believe Leon's Braintree, which I don't even know where that is. And I've been born and raised in this state, which is funny. But and then Rob, yeah, he lives up in Burlington also. So um, it's been fairly easy for us to get together as long as everybody's available. Adrian and I play together in the Mihali band, so it's easy to work around that. But he's also got Reprise, and then he's also, like Mihali, one of the hardest working guys I know. So he's doing a million other things too. Really, everybody's really hardworking and has a bunch of different gigs to do. I don't want to say I'm not hardworking, but I have not been as busy as those guys have. So it's been easier for me to come up with ideas and write and then present it to the band when it comes to Night Zero, and everybody's super receptive of it. So, um, a couple things with that band. I'm playing with people that I never thought I would play with. I've always seen them from afar and been like, oh man, I hope one day I get to play with them. And as cheesy as that sounds or whatever, it's so true because like, and it's even weirder too because everybody's kind of having the same thing, where we get off stage and we're like, this is really cool, like I can't believe I play with this person. I can't believe I play with this person or whatever, which feels really weird for me to say that somebody else is saying that about me, but because I look up to these people, so much. So it's been really, really cool. And you nailed it on the head because the biggest goal that we have of the whole thing is one, to have fun. And part of having fun, I've learned like is that there's so many things to complicate things and to like make it as good as possible as you can in this way or the blah 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 blah. But really in life, it's like it's the simplest things that really make it good. So for us, being that fun is the most important thing, there's a little bit of a can I swear on here?
Do whatever you want.
There's definitely a I don't give a fuck mentality, and we kind of try and make sure that we stick to that. Where somebody be like, "Hey, what do you think about doing this?" And somebody goes, "Nah," and we all go, "Nah." Like there's like a cohesive like agreement on saying no being actually a good and healthy thing for us. So we agree on a lot of things. We also have a bunch of different influences from different areas too. So that's probably creating that sound that might be sounding unique or fresh, which it feels like that to us too. But we all really appreciate seeing a band take chances and make mistakes and that being through like improv you know it's so much more interesting to us that the fact that there are musicians and bands out there that are taking the chance of going somewhere that they don't know they could go, and they're taking you on the ride for it live because there's so much room for mistake and uh it's hard to use the word mistake because honestly not everything's cool, everything goes really, and the more that you kind of go with that, the more then it'll work out. I think I've never done like comedy improv stuff, but I've heard people talk about the concept of yes and the concept is basically like whenever somebody says something when you're in the context of improvising with comedy and like storytelling, you never say no and then say, oh, actually it's this thing. You just say Okay, and you go with it, and then that creates the snowball effect to keep building this thing into turning something special. It's only that special because everybody had a piece to it, and that's what Night Zero feels like is that effort to always take chances, roll down the hill, and if anything, hit the gas, not the brakes.
I love
You
it.
know,
And I gotta say, like it as a fan and watching you guys play in different formations of different acts and seeing those chances being taken, and seeing the smiles on your guys' faces. I think it really just brings an energy to the crowd too. And it's like, um, I don't know, like going through the motions versus just seeing where this goes and leaving an impactful couple minutes of music that people just walk away from and are just like blown away.
cool, man. That's yeah. There. I would say that's the goal, but I don't know that that's really the goal. I think that's just like that's the reward.
The reward. Okay.
That's like the present, the gift of the experience is that you're hoping, because really the goal is it's a little bit selfish and like let's just have fun and like I said, make it as simple as having fun. That's as simple as like we fell on our face, but we still played that next song and we played with the best energy we could or whatever, like so there's that balance of of like being okay with what you're doing, maybe not hitting as hard as you want it to. And when you make it as simple as let's just have fun, then like all those moments still hit hard and feel good,
For
you
sure.
know? But I think that stems from like so many years of being in the bands that we've been in, and like we've all seen some success and felt that pressure of like, all right, what's the next level? What do we have to do to get to the next level? So we're kind of approaching it in like a sort of punk way of like being like, fuck all that shit. Let's just go out there and play the best we can, have the most fun we can. Because we know it's going to translate over. Luckily, hopefully, is if we're having a blast and the smiles like you're talking about, then you and the crowd are going to have the same exact thing. That's what we'd hope for. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned having downtime. There is life outside of music. I feel like life outside of music portrays into the music. Hobbies, things going on. What keeps you rooted and keeps you creatively motivated to want to continue playing today? Like,
So
is it a
much.
hobby? Is it family life? Is it video games? Whatever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah. As plain as fiction, I would say anything fiction, I dive into. I love reading books. I had a bunch of graphic novels all surrounded by me. This is my studio area, so I specifically put. Let me show you. Let's see what I have on the docket here, so we could go over it. Okay, this one's Dracula. This one's Ninja Turtles, Ronin. This one's Batman. Um, a lot of nerdy stuff. And then I have The Artist's Way, which is a beautiful book on actually helping yourself become more creative,
Oh, cool.
because the idea of being creative is always like, oh my God, I got to turn it on now. I got to like switch, how do I get to that point of bringing something, being the vessel to let something come through you, right? Because it's never really us that's doing it. It's like we're just interpreting something that's coming through us. And I another aspect, I love movies. I love like a good story is always good to me. I love video games too. I have been slacking a bit on writing because I've been playing Battlefield. The new Battlefield just came out, so I'm like a huge fan of that shit. Um, so I have a couple friends that do that kind of stuff. I love going to the movies. I love food. I love going out to eat food. Um, I would say, yeah, the biggest influence I can have sometimes for me, like I have to, it feels like a battery, or like a well of like inspiration that I have, and it gets tapped quickly. It feels in my experience. So like those things like games, movies, books, they all help me to recharge that battery so that when I pick up the bass or go to the computer or start writing lyrics or something like that, then I have like the excitement to do it. I think I get like I have a short burnout phase of like I'll put out a bunch of creative stuff, and then I'll hit a wall and I can't do anything unless I literally just stop for a day or two. So another big hobby that I have is weightlifting, exercising, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Um, and I try and implement some of the things I've learned from that, like patience, um, perseverance, knowing, like listening to yourself, like if I'm too tired, but I like today is the day I have to go to the gym, then I listen to myself and say, no, I'm going to take a day off or whatever. I have to do the same thing when it comes to being creative with music. I'm going to sit down today and write a song. And I sit down and I'm like, I can't fucking do it. I just can't do it. It's like I give myself a little bit of grace to say, go do something else for a little bit and then try and come back or whatever, you know? But it was something I could never do when I was younger. It was always like, you do it or you don't do it, you know? It's like, it's one or the other, on or off, you know? So I'm trying to create an environment where everything's a little bit more fluid and I can kind of fit into when I need to do things and when not, you know. And I think that not having something as big and as important, I don't want to minimize the other things that I'm doing, but what I'm trying to say is that not having something like Twiddle right now is giving me the opportunity to kind of like spread out my ideas and where I want to do things and whatever. Whereas Twiddle was like, boom, that's it. That's the
Yeah.
only thing, you know, and then a couple side things here or there, a little bit. But now everything that was a side thing is kind of a main thing. So,
Like you said,
um,
it's easy to put pressure on yourself, and like I know I relate. It's like, oh, it's like you got 6 hours of sleep, you know you got to go to the gym, and you beat
yeah,
yourself up for not going. But then it's just like you're a human being at the end of the day, and you
yeah,
gotta, yeah, no, because it's just like life's too short, you know. And now today, like I don't know how you feel, but I feel like time is so much more precious too, and it's like you start valuing things that you wouldn't where when you're 22, 23, and you're just like I have to do this. I have to follow my dream. And if I don't, it's the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world.
no, it's not. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely still dramatic in some ways where I have moments like that for sure. But for the most part, no, I'm a little bit more like, you know, I can give myself a little bit more grace, which I think was like hurting myself back in the day. It was always constant, you know, like if you're not doing this 24/7, then you're not doing it at all. And the truth is that it takes me time to like to get into things, you know. I think because bass was so natural for me and I was so young when I was doing it, I was doing it all the time. Everything else, because it doesn't come as natural to me, feels like such a struggle. It's like swimming upstream. But I mean, is that so bad?
No,
No,
it
it's
isn't.
just
It's a great thing. You know, it's a beautiful
yeah,
thing. It's like, you know, like I feel that it's like for me, like separating family from work and
yeah,
trying to remember, okay, these people are important to you. Work will always be there. Family might not always be there. So appreciate what you have other than the things that you feel are important to yourself, you know? Like I
right,
don't know. Who knows? I'm not a
yeah,
doctor. But I definitely like understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, like it is a lot of pressure when you build this thing and you got your friends along and you know, the pressure that goes along with it. But you know what people remember are the good times and like to see you still like pursuing music the way you want to pursue it. And then like I thought it was super cool. Like over the summer, like watching you like get picked up by pigeons for a handful of shows, like seeing like just I don't know, like it's cool to see like how the music scene that includes all these improvisational bands, jam bands, whatever you want to call them, from Gathering of the Vibes time to now, and like who has like still around, like these you know very powerful people in my eyes, like you, Adrian and Rob and like seeing Rob play with Neighbor, or Adrian play with every band that exists under the sun, you know, like it's so cool. And I think people on the other side like really appreciate and respect that.
that's cool, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Yeah, I really, I wasn't sure where I was gonna be after Twiddle. To be completely frank. Um, sorry, I have to remember,
It's
but
okay.
yeah, I had a moment of like, how will the highs ever get to the same highs that Bill was feeling? And it was a close friend of mine just being like, shut up. Like, you know, if you did something already, why do you have to do it again? And I think that gave me a whole new outlook on my approach to all of this, because I I'm doing it completely different. Before it was always like, everything sat like get everything checked off the list. You got to read it, blah 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 blah. Now it's like read the room. You know,
Yeah,
it's almost that simple. It's just read the room. Is everybody having a good time? Okay, this is working. This is good. Is that person over there struggling a little bit? Give them a hit. You know, and that doesn't feel so much pressure. Whereas before, it was constantly like, okay, we've been going like this. We can't go like this. We gotta keep going like that. And that takes away from so much of the experience and the fun of it. So yeah, to I'll say that I'm very grateful for my experience with Twiddle, I'd like to bring the band back at some point. I think we are a ways away from that happening. I don't by a ways, I don't mean super long time or anything like that. But I know that I want it to be right and everybody to be healthy and happy. And like I said, it's reading the room thing. Is everybody okay? Is everybody feeling good? Yeah, the making kind of move forward or whatever. So um, man, that means a lot, dude, because I really was struggling to see if I really do fit in with the scene or with music and whatever, because in some regard, in some way, I kind of fell into it. I was just in high school when the band had me join with them. I knew nothing about jam band music. I was improvising and stuff like that, but that was more in the vein of this weird music that I was listening that had improvising, so I did that too. The jam band scene I found with Twiddle when I was in high school. And to be embraced by that scene, I'm like, I'm so grateful. If I was to go back and do anything different, I would have probably reached out a little more and thanked the fans more and been a little bit more present. But I was so scared because, like I said earlier, confidence does not come easily to me. And so it's a lot easier for me to look like I'm still not doing everything right than being like, you made it, man. You're doing good.
yeah,
And at some point, you do kind of have to grow up and be like, you did good. You did years and years of work. You're okay. You're going to be fine. So I'm at that stage in my life now where I'm kind of be like, you do it okay. You're going to be all right. So it feels good going into these new things, not knowing where they're going to go and kind of appreciating that and not doing it for the sake of wanting it to go somewhere, but just doing it for the sake of being present. And they
100%.
get to do that with their fans, with Night Zero, with Mihali, with Gabalitas, and Best Good Friends. That's a big one I'm excited for too. So yeah.
Now, you brought up you started playing with the band in high school. Now, when like I don't know, I felt like whatever you first time you experienced the jam band, it's like a whole different world. But I feel like sometimes people forget what happened before they saw a jam band for the first time. And like for myself, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, all that, like I was like it was my life. And then
Yeah.
I discovered new things. Gubb pre-Twiddle, what were you listening to? What were your interests? Like, what were those things that like are roots to you that still stick around today?
Um okay, I will list off a couple of bands that were like first band that I saw a music video. Well, I'm gonna go back even further. Okay, so I'm listening to music from what my mom was just putting in my ears, right? And I'm digging it. And then that was like Tracy Chapman, who I to this well not to this but I asked my mom, is this Jesus? I'm not a very religious person, but I thought Tracy Chapman, I thought I was Jesus. So we always joke about that. So Tracy Chapman, um, Earth, Wind and Fire, Jeff Beck, the Isaac Brothers, a lot of like folk and disco music was a big thing in our house. But then there was also like I'm a Puerto Rican, so we were listening to all different types of flamenco stuff. The gypsy things is a big one that I listened to. The Sicilian Town is a big one. But and then my grandfather was Czech also. He like had like a polka music, so I wouldn't know anything about the music, but that was him there. So then I'm, growing up a little bit, I started on drums, and around that time was probably when I heard my first song that I did, which was like, uh, it's funny. I think it was Freak on the Leash. by Korn.
Yeah.
So first album was Issues by them, which is I don't think it's even on that album, but whatever. It was the only one I could get. I mean, like Limp Bizkit was a big one. Stained was a huge one. Linkin Park. And then I got into like Primus, um, Stanley Clarke, Victor Wooten, all these like great bass players, you know. And then when I turned 14 on my 14th birthday, I saw Victor Wooten at the Egg in Albany. And that was the moment I still remember now, like looking out the window on the drive home, being like, that's what I want to do. Um, Not so much like it was the feeling of being inspired. That was the moment that like caught me. It wasn't so much like I need to do all that flashy stuff. It was like I just wonder what it feels like to be inspiring, you know. And so I dug into his stuff, and then by high school, I guess I was getting a little bit into jam music, but it was jam adjacent because I was like into like the New Deal and Lotus.
Okay.
Um, and then the first jam band that I heard that I got into, it didn't like break me into the jam scene. It wasn't until I met the guys in Twiddle, but it was Mo. I saw Mo at the Paradise and it blew me away. And I know the Palace in Albany. Right. Palace.
Pal Cedar. Yep.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, nice. And oh yeah, and then my mom had already introduced me to MNW, so like Modesto Martin Wood, I'd already like had that. I didn't even know that they were in the part of the jam scene. So then I'm a senior in high school, and the band asked me to join them, and they're like, "Oh, you like MMW? Yeah, okay, cool. You know, like, well, check out this band Fish." And that it was the connection of knowing that like we were four guys in the same line, same musicians, like drums, bass, and guitar. Um, Hearing what was possible that those guys were doing and they're still doing was like the biggest moment of like, whoa, and that's what got me. And so it's definitely Fish that got me. And then eventually the Grateful Dead, a bunch of other bands, So
Of course.
super grateful to have like fallen into it, man. How lucky am I to have been this kid who's playing bass and then this band picks me up and the band already had like a lot of great songs and we were, just blasting off the things. So super blessed.
Now, well, first, shout out to mom for the musical influences, but now, okay, some people take advice seriously, some people don't, but like, is there anybody in the music industry who gave you like a piece of advice that like just like hit home to you that you just like hold on to today?
um,
Or just somebody who's like a mentor, just like, hey, like, all right, I feel comfortable around this guy. He's going to steer me the right way.
um, well, I'll give you two things. The first thing my dad said to me when and he's not in the music industry or anything like that, he said to me when I decided I wasn't going to go to college, I was going to go off with the band. He said, well, you're picking the hardest job you could possibly choose. And I think it was a little bit of like trying to scare me away from it, like, oh, and a little bit of, I take it as pride, like you damn right it is a hard job, and like I had no idea if it was going to work or not, but I like put my foot forward to do that. So I do believe them in that respect. And I think that the industry and being a musician is really about how thick your skin is. It's difficult, it's tough. And I'm not trying to be like, look at me, tough guy. I made a meeting, but like,
Yeah.
I just think knowing what I feel now after little well hiatus, like I know that I could have given up, and that would have, that would mean I wasn't meant for it, But I think I am meant for it. So there's a little bit of that. Um, you know, I'd say right now a big person who's helping me and a mentor is Adrian, not just like musically, teaching me things that other musicians taught me rhythmically or just like being just thrown at me. Um, and I'm super grateful for him in that regard because he puts a lot of trust in me listening and understanding what he's trying to tell me. And he also trust that I already understand some of the things that, it's because he's 10 years my senior. So he's been doing it much longer than me. He started way younger than I started, and I was pretty young when I started doing this. So yeah, I'd say he's been a pretty big mentor for me.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Um, just a couple of questions left here. First one, we just got a few minutes left, but just what is the origins of the purple and green beanie?
Okay. So purple and green are my favorite color. Green was always out there. Purple crept in. Now it's a little bit more purple than gray. Whatever. I I always said as a cheeky thing, like, oh, purple and green are my favorite colors because that's my favorite weed. Haha, like Edge Lord over here, kid, cool, he smokes weed. Um, which is such a corny thing to say. So where the stripes come in and everything, uh, it wasn't really planned, but we just went to a store before a show up in Burlington many, 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 many years ago. And I've been watching Beetlejuice like on repeat for like a month. I love that. Still, I don't watch it on repeat like it did then. But there was something about stripes. I don't know if you remember his got the pin suit, but stripe that
Oh yeah.
you're wearing the suit almost. Right? It's not quite that. Yeah, sorry. But and then there's the giant snake in the dunes that's got the white and black stripes. It's just like there's something about stripes that I really liked. And so then I walked into this store, the Burton store, and they had a hat. And I was like, it's striped and it's my favorite color. So I got the hat. I wore it. I thought it was the coolest hat ever. I still have it. I mean, still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But and I still have it. It's faded and shit. And it was a bit of comfort for me because I have a big forehead. I don't know if you could tell. There's a big noggin here. So like I liked wearing the hat so it would cover right here. My giant forehead. And then also like because I sweat a lot, it was helping like always capture the sweat and keep it out of my eyes. So that I like having my hair longer too, so then I wasn't getting my all these different like little things were really helping me. And then it just became a comfort thing, just like always having it on.
Okay.
And it was funny because for the longest time, like when Twiddle started to really hit it, people would notice me all the time with the hat. And people would be like, why are you wearing that thing? You just like want to get noticed or whatever. I'm like, no, it's literally a comfort thing. Like I just feel like I feel like you need me. And there'd be times where we'd walk around at festival that was playing and I'd take the hat off. And then people would be like, oh, can we take a picture of the band? And they hand me the camera for me to take the picture with the band. Yes, sure. Because they wouldn't recognize it at all. And I was like, oh, how cool. It's like a little like incognito, like now I'm like all sneaky and whatever. And then I don't know. I guess I just grew out of it and I wanted to let my hair just fall. I wanted to like, I don't know, rock and roll has always been a big part of it. That was what I listed about Limp Bizkit and Korn and Stained earlier. Like there's a heaviness in me that just wants me to headbang. So I was grown to like not wearing the hat as much. And I still love it. Probably bring it back at some point here and there, but it's a little bit more applicable to the season. Whereas before it was just applicable to my insecurity and my giant forehead or my sweatiness. So yeah, Beetlejuice. That's really what it is.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is what did it. If I wasn't watching Beetlejuice, I would have cared, would have not given two shits about the striped hat. But the stripes was just like it really got. So
Well, you got to thank Tim Burton. It's a Tim Burton movie, right? Or no?
yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks Tim Burton
Yeah.
for that.
I know. And funny enough, it says Burton on the thing, and it's almost like serendipitous. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Now just last question, very off the cuff. What's your opinion on the Reuben sandwich?
Can we go through what's in the Reuben sandwich so I make sure I'm not wrong on this? Because I always mix up the Reuben with the Rachel. So tell me, Frankie, what's in the Reuben sandwich?
So Reuben sandwich, rye bread, corned beef, Russian dressing, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese.
Okay. I'll go break that down. So rye bread, dope. It's cool. It's got the swirls. I like it. It's awesome. And then the next thing, corned beef, great. I don't know that I've had corned beef with anything but that.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of what else I'd have corned beef with.
corned beef and
That's
cabbage. Yeah, there's really not any other purpose
yeah,
to have corned beef than just on a Reuben sandwich, in my opinion. We're
yeah.
Reuben fans at Mirth Films, so I'm obligated to ask this question to everybody.
Okay, cool. I love this question. Okay, so then sauerkraut on check. So there's a little bit of that there. I've always liked sauerkraut. That's fine. I do think it's necessary on the sandwich for sure. Obviously, just like the Thousand Island, and then Swiss, I might be my favorite cheese. So I
Okay.
mean, put all that together, and yeah, I can't think of a moment where I'd say I don't want to ruin one. I would have one right now if you gave me one. Thank you.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for just being down to do this. It's been a pleasure watching your musical journey from when I got to know of the band in 2012 and going forward, all the things you're doing today. What can fans look forward to over the next month, year? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Well, first off, Frankie, I love you, and it's always a pleasure seeing you. And I love doing this, so we could do this again at any time, definitely.
Okay.
And maybe a year from now, there'll be a lot more things we could talk about too. But right now, let's see. I got a couple of this next week. I'm playing in the West at the Westcott in Syracuse on Thursday. We got Putnam's Place on Friday, and then we got a private show the next day, which I don't know that I'm supposed to buy. That's still saving. That's a rough one for on, anyways. And then what's after that? Best Good Friends, I believe. I think that's in like 2 weeks. I can't remember the date exactly, but that's up at Stowe Cider, so that'll be cool. And then I wrote these ones down because I knew I was going to forget that. December 19th, Night Zero is going to open for Koku at Putnam Place. So
Nice.
we'll be back there, which is pretty dope. A lot of memories there. And then, are you going to see Fish this year's?
I'm gonna try to. My fiance and I, we got a busy schedule, but definitely gonna try to make it down one of the nights for sure.
Well, it's been years and years and years and years since I've done any after Fish shows. So we're going to be doing Night Zero, doing the December 30th at the Cutting Room, opening tonight, J Love. So we'll
Oh,
be
wow.
starting right after Fish there, which I'm really stoked about. Um, so yeah, I think I'm going to go on the 29th too. So give me a shout. Maybe we can link up if you're going to be around. But
That
we'll
sounds
see.
great, man.
Yeah. Oh, and then the 28th, we're going to be playing in Killington. Oh my God, there's a slew of Mihali shows that I can't even tell you are all happening in December, but just check it out. I'll be on all of them. And then we got Jam Cruise in February, which is cool. Or maybe doing something else on that too. So
Hell yeah,
um
man.
yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much. We got like 30 seconds left on this call, and I will definitely reach out and maybe try to make it to 29th. That's always a good night of Fish. So
Let's stay in touch, Frankie. Love you, brother.
love you too, man. Catch you later.
Peace.
Peace.